Day of Guilford's eLearning University Prep Orientation. I'm so glad that you're here and I hope you're ready to learn about our new University Prep program as the largest middle school in Guilford County. So we are so excited that you are here and joining our school. I'm Miss Nishikawa. I'm going to be a 6th grade science teacher this year, and I'm just glad that you're here and ready to help you answer your questions and make sure that you are ready to begin your lessons online. So our vision at our eLearning University Prep program is that our e-learners will be intentionally transformed, and that by transforming online education, we're going to change the outcomes for all of our e-learners. We call our students e-learners because they are learning in the digital environment. Our mission at Guilford eLearning Schools is that we're going to provide a innovative and flexible experience, but that experience is going to be rigorous and it's going to be personalized to your learning experience so that e-learners are able to grow and become successful in a global environment, and so that they're entering high school and college and beyond ready to compete with the global markets. So, a little bit about us. We are the largest middle school in Guilford County. We have over 1,800 students enrolled currently. A little different from remote instruction is we offer asynchronous instruction, which is a self-paced instruction. Even though we are self-paced, we do offer a lot of one-to-one as well as small group interaction for students. There is a lot of individualized student support to allow students to learn in the way that serves them best. This is a brand new way for Guilford County schools. It's a new way of learning that we are embarking on this journey together, and we're very excited. So some of our core values that we're going to grow in our e-learners are a digital mindset and a self-driven attitude. To be successful in a online environment, you have to build up these skills. You have to learn to become a strong communicator, and an innovator. You have to learn how to collaborate digitally, to work on projects, problem solve when there's technology issues, as well as other issues when working with teams, working with your teachers. And ultimately, we're looking to make our e-learners into e-change agents so that they are able to go into the digital world with the skills that they need to interact in a responsible way. So some of our school contact information, you can email us at universityprep@gcsnc.com. We have our website. Our website is probably the most important piece right now, especially in the beginning. So gcsnc.com/universityprep. That is where you're going to find links for meetings, links to access Canvas, as well as we're getting our student ID numbers and passwords updated, there's going to be information put on our website. So please check that website every day right now as we're getting all this information going. So how is this virtual learning different from remote learning? So in the spring of 2020, we experienced a little bit of remote learning. We were kind of thrown into it. This fall of 2020, a lot of Guilford County schools are having remote instruction. This remote instruction is based at your student's home school. It is synchronous and asynchronous, but there are live instructions at fixed times. So just like when you're in class and you have a 9 a.m. class, a 10 a.m. class, 11 a.m. class, that is what happens in a remote instruction environment. We are very different from that, where we are offering an asynchronous instruction. So even though we do have teachers that will provide live synchronous individual support as well as small group support, as a whole, we do not have a fixed time instruction. That means your e-learner has flexibility of when they work and how they work. They are able to log on at different points during the day. They can work at their own pace through the instructions. And one of the biggest benefits is, especially as we get past Labor Day and our instruction begins, is students can work ahead. There are still due dates. I want to make that very clear to all of our e-learners. We have due dates that your assignments will be due. However, you can work ahead. And if you work ahead and finish a course before it's over, you can move on to the next one. And that can be very important here in middle school when you might be wanting to prepare to enter into one of the early colleges and be a competitive applicant into these early colleges. We are also a social emotional learning school. And what a social emotional learning program is, it is where we go through a process where children and adults start to understand and manage their emotions. And we have an example here of a mood meter. Using this mood meter, we try to help kids realize that everybody moves through all of these emotions every day. So you may start off the day in red if you wake up and maybe you just didn't sleep well, something's really bothering you. But then how can we move from that red where maybe you're really frustrated or you're worried or you're uneasy about something and move you into that green or even yellow and just move you into that environment emotionally where you need to be to learn. It also helps our e-learners learn how to recognize how they're feeling. And when you're in that red and sometimes that blue, it's really hard to learn. And even sometimes if you're in the yellow, especially if you're really excited or you're really energized, that might be a hard place to learn as well. So it's learning how to manage and recognize your emotions and bring them back into that green where you can be calm and at ease so that you can focus and learn what you need to do. So, one of the biggest questions we're getting on our virtual hotline, on our emails, on our school voicemail is I don't have a student ID number yet, or I know my student ID number, but I don't know my password. So, we are working on that. We also realize that you do not have a schedule yet, and we are working on that. Every day, we are getting more and more students put into our system. For right now, if you go to our website, you're going to hear me talk about our website a lot, going to that gcsnc.com/university prep. That is where you're going to find access to these links that I've posted here. And this is how you can get into Canvas and start working on assignments before you have a student ID login. And that's just a really important part that you need to recognize for right now until you get that schedule, which hopefully will be Friday, if not Monday the 24th. Everybody should be getting that information to them. So part of our day 2, we talked about what is asynchronous instruction. You keep hearing this big word, asynchronous, or synchronous instruction. So asynchronous instruction is simply a form of education or learning where the instruction and learning are not happening or occurring in the same place at the same time. That means you're not attending a class from 9 to 10 a.m. every morning or 4 to 5 p.m. It is when you have time that works best for how you are. And that brings us back to also that mood meter. When you're in that green, when you're in that ability to focus, and we get into that space, that's where you learn best. And that's where our asynchronous instruction works really well for our students. Students have that flexibility to work on assignments whenever the time works best for them. And teachers still offer those support in the small groups during the typical school day, Monday through Friday. so that we can have that individual virtual assignments, because we also don't want anyone to feel isolated. Even though we are in a virtual environment, we still want to build those relationships and connections with each other. So, how can you check in with your teachers? So, the main way you're going to receive most information is going to be on Canvas. So, I realize many of you don't have access to Canvas right now, but you will very soon. And that is where you're going to have most of your communication for your assignments, as well as you can use the inbox in Canvas. The other thing that we're going to work on setting up is your GCS email. Every student has a GCS email. Your email for GCS is your student number at stu.gcsnc.com. And that email address is the same one that you would use to log into the computers at school, and the password is the same. It is your birthday. For instance, if your birthday was April 6, 2009, it would be 04062009. And that would be your password with no slashes. So that is your GCS email. We also have teachers who will be using things like Remind and Microsoft Teams. So another question we have gotten a lot is, can you move ahead on assignments? So yes, you have due dates. Most of them are going to be due on Sunday of that week. But let's say you finish the week's work on Wednesday. You are welcome to start the next week's work and move through the course at your own pace. That means if you move through and you finish a class early, so if you finish all of 7th grade math by December, then you can start the next level math in January. So that doesn't mean rush it, because you have to show mastery. That means you have to show that you are able and ready to present that material. You've passed the test with A's, and you know the material very well, and you can move on. So what platforms will we use? We will use things like Canvas. That's going to be where most of your instruction takes place. But our live meetings, and as well as maybe some class notebooks and assignments, could be in Microsoft Teams. We'll also use things like Nearpod, Flipgrid, and many other things such as Kahoots and quizzes, and some of the other apps a lot of you probably have experience with, and maybe some that you don't. Our grading scale. We are a GCS school. A common question we also get is, do we follow the same standards as Guilford County? And yes, we follow the same pacing and the standards as Guilford County. So your student is going to be completing the same work, covering the same material in our way through the virtual school, through our virtual experiences that we're going to offer students. But we do follow Guilford County Schools pacing as well as their grading scales. We will keep accurate and regular grades that we'll be updating weekly. Students will still get those interim reports and their report cards. And there could be additional reports or contact when a student maybe is lagging, they're not making the progress that they need to be making, they're missing those Sunday deadlines. We will be communicating with parents. So parents, make sure that you are also in connection with your students' teachers so that they can get a hold of you if needed through those apps like Remind and email as well. So parents, reach out to your students' teachers so that we can stay in contact. Attendance. So this is one of the areas that we're all kind of working on. Because we are a public school, we still have to take attendance Monday through Friday. So while, yes, you can choose when to work, we do need students to at least log in and have some type of interaction and participation every day, Monday through Friday, except for work days or holidays that we're on break. And that means even if on Tuesday you have finished a whole week's worth of work, we still need you to check in on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, even if it is logging in and commenting on a discussion board or commenting to a teacher about something. We do need you to log in and have some kind of activity Monday through Friday in order for our Department of Instruction to have access that you have attended school for that day. Parents will be notified if a student misses class. Or if we see the work ethic is dropping or they're not completing assignments to the level they are capable of. We'll also notify parents if before a student is marked absent. So, speaking of attendance, here in day 2, if you would fill out this form, if you're watching this video later, fill out this form by going to tinyurl.com/GeUP day 2. And then this will give us some contact information as well as kind of count for your attendance. And again, we're asynchronous, so your attendance can be counted even if you're watching this video later. Student supports is a very large part of our school. So as in our mission and in our vision, you saw that we really want to focus on that individual plan where students can move ahead if they need, but also we want to make sure we are supporting students that learn at all different abilities for our AIG services, as well as our English learners and students that maybe have IEPs with disabilities or 504 plans with accommodations. We want those students to have the supports they need. So students will receive the same services that they were getting in Guilford County schools. There will be a schedule that is developed around service times so the student is still able to participate in any live classroom instruction, and that those accommodations are met. You will be reached out from a case manager for any individuals with IEPs and 504s. Teachers will maintain ongoing communication with the student through phone and email and newsletters to help make sure they understand what they're expected to do each week. Services will be delivered in a virtual environment, except for if it is a service that cannot be provided remotely. There will be appointments made to make sure that those services can still be provided. If you need help this week, between the 17th and the 21st, we have a virtual hotline that you can sign up for. We have lots of openings where parents can come in and get some troubleshooting help. Go to this website, the tinyurl.com, GeUP help, and you can sign up for a time to log in and get some help from 8 to 4, as well as an evening session from 4:30 to 5:30. What if you don't have a device? Currently, as of today, which is Tuesday, on the 18th, we do not have any more devices, but we do have a device waiting list. So if you come to this tinyurl.com/device wait list 2020, we can get you on that list. As Guilford County is giving us more devices for families, we will get those devices for you. If you have a device in your household, but you need a second device, we're going to ask, as we get more devices, after all the households have one device, then we'll start issuing those one-to-one devices. So if you have multiple students in your household, we'll get you multiple devices. But that's going to take some time as we wait for these items to be shipped to Guilford County schools. So again, just touching on, if you don't have that student ID number, it is coming Friday to Monday. You will be getting that information by email, probably through ConnectEd as well. Information is coming to you. It will also be posted on the website as a way for you to get it if you have not gotten your student's ID number. There will be a form that you can fill out to get your student's ID number that will be coming online shortly. So again, when I say it's coming online, here is the website. This website is where you're going to be able to find all the information that you need. gcsnc.com/university prep. Please come to this website before trying to contact someone, because it's going to get you answers much faster. That's where you're going to find links to get into Canvas. It's where you're going to find how to sign up for a virtual hotline. It's where you'll find out how to sign up for the waitlist for a device. Is where you can find out if we have updated passwords or schedules and you haven't gotten one, and how to find out. So keep an eye, check this website every day, maybe a couple times a day. I will say that Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week, we have some great activities students can sign up for. That information is also on the website. So please log on, get involved, help your students, get to this website so that they can be prepared. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope that this answers a lot of your questions. I know you probably have many more. We realize that students do not all have access to NC Ed Cloud and Canvas right now. Students will not be punished or penalized because of a technology error. We realize this first week of school that we are working through it. We realize that maybe on Canvas there's links that aren't working the way they should, or it's asking students to log in and they don't know those logins. We realize we're going to troubleshoot these and we're going to solve this problem together. We ask for your patience. We appreciate your patience. This is a community effort and we really appreciate it. Again, students should be having their schedules and their logins and such by Monday the 24th. So just keep being patient with us as we work through this. I want to touch base. If your student is on Microsoft Teams or any Microsoft Outlook or any things like Sway or even Discovery Education, their login will be their student ID number at stu.gcsnc.com, and their password will be their student ID number. No, their password will be their birth date. The beginning is their student ID number. And I'm going to write that right here for you all. So this is what this would look like. It'll be their student ID number. So it might be like 3484196 at stu.gcsnc.com. And if their birthday is April 5th, 2008, it would be 04052008. There is no backslashes between those, but it would be their birthday for that login. And that would be for Microsoft Teams, Microsoft using webmail for Outlook, as well as using Sway, which might be on some of those lessons, as well as going into Discovery Ed. So I hope that is helpful. We are doing our best, and we thank you for being patient. We're so excited to have you part of Guilford's eLearning University program. We are going to have a wonderful year. I'm looking forward to many experiences that we're going to have, and students will be getting their schedules soon. Thank you so much, and have a great night.